From the high plains of the Midwest, I bid you good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever your time zone might be. My nod to the late and great Art Bell. I'm Keith Sharp.
And I'm G. Dressel.
And we welcome you to Life After Life, a paranormal webcast where we talk about the paranormal, UFOs, or the unexplained. And the biggest question of them all, what happens when we die? Stay tuned. Hey. We're here finally. Sorry we're running late. Hey, and it's going to be probably a somewhat of a quick show. I've got some stuff that came up from work that I have to take care of. Work does suck. I hate work. But
we literally have the best person ever on today.
Yeah, we have him on again. We had him on last week, and
he's got lots of fans, but I bet we're his number one fans.
Yeah. Let's add him.
What's up, Dean?
There's the man.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Thanks again for coming back.
You bet.
So if you guys want to ask Dean a question, or maybe 2 questions tops, so we can get through everybody. I'm going to try to paste the deal in here again. And
Dean, there was a lot to unpack, man, after last.
His mind's blown by the UFO thing.
The UFO thing.
Yeah, we talked about the alien connection.
Well, it was just so well, first off, I just completely turned off everything on the way home after that conversation just to get in my quiet zone, like we had talked about. But then, I reached back out to Keith and I was like, man, that was just like crazy, because didn't you say that it wasn't very normal for you to experience that, where like no angels are showing up and an alien pops in or something?
Oh, sure. I was trying to remember what you were talking about, because I don't always remember the readings, right? So it was. So we were talking about the one individual, the gentleman that had the experience. He was an abductee, right?
Yeah.
So So no, that is not typical in my experience to have that come in. I mean, every once in a while, once in a blue moon, but it's not typical. No.
So. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't call him, but I messaged him and I said, "Do you remember anything of it?" And he said, "No." He said basically it was his other readings he had. He said every reading had told him that, he was an abductee, but he has no memory of it.
So did he do like a regression type?
No.
Did he do anything like that?
Cool. Not that I know of.
That'd be fascinating.
That would be fascinating.
Yeah, Scott, if you're listening, pop on and tell, if you want to, if you feel comfortable enough, tell us a little bit about that. But so Dean, my daughter-in-law, or not daughter-in-law, my daughter,
my wife,
his wife,
yeah,
wants a reading, so I'm gonna pop her up here.
Okay.
Add her to the stream. Hi, Cassidy.
You're muted, honey.
You're muted. Unmute yourself.
I'm trying to get away from the kids. Hang on just a second.
Oh, God. This might be a nightmare, Dean.
It's funny because every time my business partner calls, he's like, dude, it's always like something's on fire at your house or somebody's falling off the roof.
It's always noisy over there.
Madhouse. She'll get there.
Yeah.
She was very excited. Hey, initially, Dean, between me and you, and I talked to Keith about it. I was just going to have her call in because I was like, I didn't want to, because last time somebody called in and kind of started spilling the beans and you're like, hey, next time you call in for a reading, don't tell me everything.
Well, but right.
But then we talked and we're like, okay, let's tell him this is my wife.
Well, he can tell you that, right?
That's not going to mess anything. No.
Okay, cool.
In fact, I think you had said that like a little bit of information. As you can tell, I've been kind of battling back and forth with this stuff since we met last week. Really thinking about it.
Okay.
And so I think one of the things you said is a little bit of information actually does help you though, right? Like if I do, because I think you're saying if you want to reach out to somebody, without describing them, can you say who you want to reach out to?
You know, the thing that I would share, Garrett, with that is that I can never guarantee 110% that I'm going to connect with that individual. You know, sometimes yes. But then it's almost like, you know, I have a lineup of spirits that I start, you know, describing as at this individual, because, you know, say it's Uncle Frank, we'll just say,
yeah.
And say you have a favorite uncle that you wanted to connect to. And, you know, and so I start describing people that I see. Is it this dude? Is it this dude? You know, so sometimes I don't like doing that because there's an aspect of me that feels like I don't want to say inauthentic because I'm truly describing to you who I'm seeing, but at the same time, it's, I always trust that the people that I connect to are the people that are supposed to step forward.
Right, for sure. Hey,
And
Cassie. Oh,
I
sorry.
mean, 9 times out of 10, I mean, it's going to be the people that you validate. You saw last show, there was a few that they didn't validate what was, being brought forward, but I still trust that the information later on
Down the
be like,
line.
oh, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Cassie, did you lock the kids up?
Yes, I did. I'm
Well
here.
done. Well done.
Well
okay,
done.
so this is my wife, Dean. This is Cass.
Hi,
Hi.
Cass. Hello. So what's your question, or did you have a question tonight?
I wanted to talk to my granny if I can.
Okay.
That's my first. And then I also like hearing about the angels.
Oh, the angels. Okay. Well, they say the Lucifer was a fallen angel himself, right?
Right? Where are we going with
I
this?
know.
Funny you say that to my wife.
Yeah,
Continue, Dean, please.
I say it in
where
a
is this
joking
going?
manner. I say it in a joking manner because I know there's a lot of people saying, Dean, how do you know it's truly a divine angel? Because wasn't Lucifer a fallen angel? Isn't there, And I always kind of chuckle because I clearly know the difference between, with their energies. So yeah, give me a second here. Let me tune in. So it was really kind of interesting earlier. Now, do you go by Cassidy or Cass?
Both.
Okay.
So most people call me Cass.
Okay. Do you mind if we go by Cass a little bit
that's fine.
more? And actually, interesting enough, just across the river is, or I'm actually in Cass County. So
Oh, nice.
the area that I live in. So see, double whammy there must be,
Yes.
right? So one of the things for you, Cass, is the first thing that I saw earlier was when you popped on the screen was yellow rose or yellow flowers. It wasn't roses, but yellow flowers. And these are typically indicative of it reminded me of you think of cowslips or like a wildflower, but something that you would see more growing in, you would think, the ditch, right? And I know that takes away saying, geez, that sounds really nice, Dean. But a lot of it, there is beauty in the simple, if you think of the wild flowers or whatever. And I don't even know what kind of flowers they are, but they are a very beautiful type of yellow flower. So I'm understanding first and foremost that it's very significant to you in some form. Now let's talk about some angels really quick for you. Archangel Michael, so close to your head, so very close to you, giving you strength, vitality, and direction as you go forward. We talked before on the program about Michael being all about protection. And it's kind of interesting because it's like Michael carrying like a bat, right? And I know that sounds kind of odd, but it's like, so sometimes Michael kind of conveying your energy that you might be personally carrying, right? So if you're kind of and I know most moms are, but the protective mama bear, don't F with my family or my kids or whatever, I'll smack you with the bat. Maybe even Garrett, maybe you smack him with the bat. I don't know. That's you guys' business.
All the time.
But the thing that I would share is this energy that comes through with Michael. Secondly is Archangel Gabriel. Now, Gabriel, we understand, is all about the message, right? But for you, it's interesting because it also connects to the empath aspect that you are. It also connects to the aspect and connection of animals for you, and the aspect and connection to nature. It kind of culminates into a bigger, how do I want to say, kind of a bouquet, if you will, of great things. And then also the higher level of knowingness, right? So, and I always joke and say, when somebody is connected like that, they just know shit. So listen to her, Garrett. You
You hear
know,
that, Garrett?
there you go. I told you.
Keep nailing it,
listen to
Dean.
Dean. He just
Keep
told
nailing
I am
it,
all
Dean.
knowing. Just
now
reminds
you're gonna now you're gonna hear it all the time. See,
Oh, I
Dean
do.
said. But truly, it's and you know, and it's interesting because when we find our our soulmate or husband or partner or wife or whomever, it's interesting because their abilities as well sometimes match and or um kind of mirror ours, and not always, but a large majority of the time. So it's very interesting there. So let's talk about also Archangel Raphael, bringing in, of course, the healing energy. And it's interesting to me because I feel it on the left side of your body, Cass. And it's like more in the lat. You think of the lat muscle area. And then it kind of like digs in a little bit by the spine area. So almost kind of the whole lat area. So I don't know if you've been going to the gym, if you've been doing something, but it feels like something was out of proportion, or you could have even been lifting one of the kids. That happens a lot. Is where I just feel the muscle on the more on the lat and in the back area is out, and that's what Raphael is telling me. Last but not least is again Archangel Metatron coming in and talking about the wild and vivid dreams, right? And this isn't Chippendale dancer dreams. This is more about, right, those in spirit and everybody else bringing
Yes.
in, the more vivid, the more visceral. Now, not saying that you can't have the funky dreams, like, oh my God, why am I standing naked on Broadway or something weird? But that's completely, maybe we need to talk to our psychologist about those dreams. But the thing that I'm talking about is actually having that visceral dream of whether it's with grandma or whether it's with grandpa or whomever, mom, dad, whatever. So understand that Metatron is also helping with that. And also if people are having aspects of what they call lucid dreaming or remote viewing or different aspects of that. So let's talk about some of your spirits stepping forward, right?
Okay.
So it was interesting because also I want to recognize and validate also a very strong female energy that comes in on what I would understand as your like a spirit guide, or kind of a guardian angel more than a spirit guide, right? And it really hangs high over you, really kind of guiding you. And I almost want to say kind of slapping your hand when you need it and be like, all right, Cass, now, and slapping your hand. It's like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
sometimes kind of needing that. The loving, what I always say is the lovingly kick in the ass when we need it, right?
I need it.
Sometimes, sometimes when we need that, especially when we're hard-headed like myself, right?
Yes.
So, but I do get a female that steps forward on the mother side. There's several that step forward, actually. But first and foremost, we talk about a female that steps forward on the mother side of the family. I do understand that this lady would have passed in her 80s. And one of the interesting things is the pressure that I feel is equal from the front to the back. What I mean by that is it feels like it was almost compressed from both sides. So whether she was laying in any configuration, sitting, standing, laying, whatever, it's very uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
I don't know if there was severe issues going on with the lungs or what was going on, but it was
Yes.
very uncomfortable for her, if you understand that. The other thing is prolonged oxygen therapy. I get that. Off and on stays in the hospital. I feel that as well. And it's one of the most painful things it actually feels like is the lung issue. And I know that sounds really weird, but
Yeah. No, that's accurate.
So, but what really brings me a lot of, and what I feel when I say me, what really brought her a lot of comfort is really the biggest drug that she could ever have when she was in the hospital is having people there with her, if that makes sense. Like, oh, good, you're here. Or, there had to be
Yes.
somebody like, oh, and so she could always, find comfort. Otherwise, it was more a lot of anxiety, if that makes sense as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So, yep. So, all right. And so we also have a male that's stepping forward. Understand that he was a smoker and that the letter L comes forward with him, which is really interesting. He also talks about, well, he also shows me that he walked with a limp. So I'm not really sure what was going on there, if it was just from a previous injury or if it was actually hip issues, knee issues, what was going on. And the other thing is that it's like he's covered in soot. I know he wasn't a chimney sweep, but it was like always covered. I feel that covered in some type of soot. So, like it could be like a sawdust or like he's always covered in something. And it's interesting because it's almost black and I can't really see very well. And I don't understand that. I'm just trying to describe to you what I'm seeing. And when I breathe, it smells, and I know this sounds really weird, but it smells damp and wet. I don't know what that means. So whether, maybe that could be mine if you worked in a mine, could be if you worked on the coast. I don't know. But that is the individual. And I do understand that this gentleman would have served in the military. I do understand that. And the other piece is that he did something with deliveries too. I keep on seeing a truck associated with him. We're going back many, many years. So this would have been, I don't know if it was post World War II. That's what it almost feels like the real late 40s, early 50s. So I'm just looking at the model of vehicles. And I was like, okay, so that's some older vehicles we're talking about. But I do want, and it's interesting too, because I keep on seeing bottles. And I don't feel that they ran moonshine or alcohol, but the thing that I do get is that it could have been for a bottling company for soda. It could have been something else. So very interesting though. And it doesn't feel like both things. So he would have been kind of one of the jack of all trades, master of none, as people say.
Right.
I had a lot of jobs. But talking about the female that steps forward, first and foremost, letting you know that, and this, Cass, is that how much that she truly loves you, first off. And secondly, really talking about, really just putting her hands on yours and really just smiling. And it's really kind of interesting with her smile, because she was one of those people that when I look at her smiling, like it warms my soul up. Like it's somebody that she could really warm up a room.
Yeah.
And, regardless of whether you knew her or not. And so very loving. But the other thing is she had kind of a, how do I want to say?
Say it, Dean.
Well, I want to say I'm trying to get it accurate, but she had a bit of a feisty personality with her. She could be a bit firecracker, as they say, right?
For sure.
So and truly, you don't want to make her mad, because she is a truly forgiving woman to a point. But then once you really make her mad, it feels like she had she would put you in your place.
Yeah.
So with that aspect. And then she keeps on telling me children and dogs need to be outside. And so it's like, that's the thing. It's like trying to, like, after everybody gets up for the day, and if they're having breakfast, she's almost like with a broom or whatever, animals and kids outside for the day. And
yeah.
So it's like getting everybody, and I'm sure at some point, probably back many, many years ago, to even clean the house or get any work done, you had to shoo everybody outside. I'm sure. So that's a big deal. So, but just letting you know how very proud of you she is, and really letting you know again just how much that she loves you, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Well, finally,
Absolutely.
Yep.
that was definitely, he described her to a T.
Yeah,
Wow.
for sure.
Yeah. Hey, and I'll put that biofreeze on your back when I get home, honey. Seriously. I've been having to put biofreeze on her back. No big deal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's a good husband.
I love you. Bye, honey.
Love you. Thank you, Dean.
You bet. Thanks, Cass.
All right. Next one up is going by the name Bean. Bean.
Bean.
Bean, hello. You're
Hello.
on.
Hi, Bean. What's your question?
Oh, we had to ask a question?
Oh,
I guess
Well,
you don't. I guess you don't
She thought
have
just
to.
wanted a
You were
reading,
just.
I guess.
You're just a general reading. Absolutely. All right.
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Give me a second.
Dean zeroing in.
Yep.
So, a few things for you, Bean, is okay. So we talk about again Archangel Gabriel. Really kind of the beautiful energy that comes in through you, and it's Gabriel energy really comes through your back, which is really interesting to me. And it's I'm just trying to understand. Sorry, that's the reason that I'm sitting here kind of stuttering and trying to find my words, because it's almost like if you're laying on your back in bed. I'm trying to be in the first person point of view here, and like having, whether it's in dream or the REM stage or whatever sleep, is getting into communicative or communication with spirit. So there's kind of a sleep communication aspect going on in dream state. And then the other thing is, which is really fascinating to me, because I've never had Gabriel come through for somebody like going through their back. And this is really kind of interesting. So I was really trying to understand that. But sometimes for some people, the position that they sleep, that's all about them. But again, Gabriel is all about the message, and of course, people being an empath and dealing with all that stuff, right? We also talk about, again, Archangel Michael's there, giving a lot of protection as well. And it's kind of cool because Michael is all about blue, but there's like a second. Now, I know you probably got a TV or whatever going on in your room there. And I can see from the video that there's some flashes on the thing, but there is, like, you think of Gabriel here. I'll do it to the screen here. So Michael has a blue bubble around you and him, but there's a second one, and that's not Michael's energy. It kind of tells me that there's other significant male that steps forward in spirit that is also trying to convey protection. So a lot of times we chalk that up to, like, either, again, a guardian angel or somebody like that. So somebody really always being the protector for you. Okay. So there is a male that does step forward on the dad's side of the family, as I see it. Understand that this gentleman would have passed, feels to me like in his early 60s. And one of the things that I keep on getting is I do smell smoke around him. I understand that he was a smoker. But as soon as I connect to this male's energy, one of the things that I'm being taken to is the stomach area. And so I'm understanding that that he would have suffered from stomach issues. Now, I don't know if there was cancer in the stomach or what was going on, but it feels like my stomach, when I connect to him, is very upset and not a very happy tummy, so to speak. And it feels very constant for him. The other aspect is he keeps on taking me to, well, you can't see that, is he keeps on taking me to the teeth, predominantly the back teeth. And what it almost feels to me too is like his teeth were, and I don't, selective teeth within his mouth where he had issues with them rotting. So, like whether they were decaying quicker than maybe, and it doesn't feel like it wasn't because he was not taking care of them, but it feels like something within the body was happening. So he does take me to dental issues and more about the back teeth, which is very interesting to me. So, there's and let me pause and ask you, is that something you can recognize or validate, Bean? Is that
Well, it's odd because my dad did die from he died from pancreatic cancer, but I've been having a lot of dental issues myself and having to have my back teeth pulled, and I blame it on him because of his bad teeth. So that's odd.
That's really
That's
interesting.
not fair.
Oh,
That's
okay.
interesting.
Okay, interesting. And
I mean, I've had about 5 teeth pulled.
oh wow. Okay. Interesting. And was your dad, and I know everybody had different relationships with your dad, but was your dad like a big protector for you, like another one of in your family?
Very, and that's what's odd too, because we have 9 children. We had 9 children in the family, and I always said if one thing, we weren't wealthy, but he was a provider and protector was the
Right.
very things that he was adamant about.
Right. Very loving man, like very passionate,
Very
like
loving.
wore
Yes.
his
And
and
died
what I would
around when he was, or go ahead.
and I was going to say wore his heart on his sleeve, so to speak.
Yes. And I
So,
was
yeah.
wondering about the other male. Was there another male that you said was trying to come through or no?
No, I wasn't. It actually is a female, and the female is actually stepping in front of you. And if you listen to the previous show, I think we had it. It might have been my gallery. Can't remember. When somebody steps in front of you, at least for me, means one of few things. Either it's a sibling, a spouse, or a child, right? And so we always think of us, something of us. So stepping in front of us. And it's interesting because the energy of this spirit, the soul, is not very old. It feels very young. And that's where I would ask, did you lose a child? Was there a miscarriage many years ago, or a sibling lost?
No,
I'm sorry.
no. All of us are still living. All of us are still living. All of us are still living. We're
Did you
all
hear her,
still
Dean?
living.
I sorry, I didn't. It was really garbled.
She said all of them are still living.
Oh, they are. Okay. Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, one of the things too, this is rare, but it does happen. Sometimes, if we have people that we consider like a sister or a brother or a child, like a second child, right? So if you have kids that are maybe a bit older and you quote unquote adopt them, like not figuratively, but or literally, but figuratively, and maybe they're always over. And then if something happens, unfortunately, to a child, sometimes they show up in that manner as well. But one of the things is more not about her predominantly stepping forward to,
Okay.
to deliver the primary message, but just letting you know that she's around and is okay. But really, kind of who I'm trusting is your dad stepping forward and kind of, being the showboat that he is, being the character that he is, letting you know that he still loves you. And the cool thing is that still showing you each and every day through signs and validation in your own way. Does that make sense?
Bean, did you hear him?
Yes.
Okay. He said, did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, beautiful.
Yes.
So just
right.
letting you know that, being that you're,
Yes.
you're just, it sounds like I'm repeating record, but just letting you know just how much he truly does still love you. And, and his words you can't get rid of me that easy. And so I always got to be the character and trying to throw in a joke. I always got to try to kind of be joking, but knowing just, simply saying thank you and, telling everybody hi, so to speak. So,
All right. Well, Bean, we got to carry on. We got 3 people waiting. So thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Bean and Dean.
Bean
thank
and
you
Dean.
so much.
Thank you,
Okay.
Bean.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay. Now we have, hang on just a second.
Dean's popular.
She is.
We've never had this many people call in.
Sassy Sandy. Sassy
Hi, Sassy
Sandy.
Sandy.
You're up.
Sassy Sandy, the double S.
Yep.
Hi, Keith and Garrett. Hi,
Hello.
Dean. How
Hello.
you going?
Hi, Sassy Sandy.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I had a struggle getting in. My device wouldn't allow microphone or camera, and I had to change devices. And
Oh,
because
no.
I don't think I could call because I'm in Australia, and I wasn't quite sure how that would work with the phone number. So there you go.
All right.
So anyway, I saw the show with Moon Girl, and you said don't say too much. So
Yeah. Well,
the
I'm
floor
already
is yours,
working.
Dean.
I'm already working over here. I'm already
Yeah.
reading your energy,
He's-
Sandy. So when
he's
you're
already
Reading
picking up
that
on you.
energy
Yeah,
out in
so-
Australia.
Mhm.
Good old
So-
Aussies, hey?
Oh, I love the Aussies.
Love
no
'em.
dramas.
I'd love to go to
That's
Austin.
why I miss you
Oh,
live quite often
love-
because it's like, oh, sorry, Dean.
Oh, I was going to say one of my favorite times in the military is when we went and did training with the 3rd RER in Australia and did parachuted in Australia.
Lucky.
And it was
Oh, man.
absolutely gorgeous.
Oh my god.
And I have
Where were you
never,
based?
I have never drank so much beer in all my life at the Brass Monkey in Sydney. And good Lord.
It was amazing.
Yes.
And don't talk to anybody during the soccer game.
Soccer?
That's my advice for any Americans going over.
Did you see AFL while you were here?
What's that?
Did you see any AFL while you were here? That's what we call football.
No, I didn't. We didn't have enough time. It was
Okay.
I think there was 24 or 48 hours of like R&R where we could go downtown Sydney and kind of get a hotel or whatever and then kind of hit the
Crazy.
nightlife. The rest of the time was training with the military.
Did
And
you
we
hit
flew
the cross?
What's that?
Did you hit the cross?
Hit the
King's
cross.
Cross.
Oh,
King's
King's Cross area. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were in all that. I don't
He
know,
just
the
doesn't
whole
remember it
area. I
that
don't know.
well.
I think it was a whole
Yeah.
blur. I don't even know
He
where I
was
was
I'm
half the
being
time.
cheeky there, Dean.
Yeah,
I'm being
Awesome.
that was
cheeky.
my
So-
wilder and crazy days.
Yeah.
We
That was
all have
before I
it.
was married.
Dean's memory may not be
Yeah.
that great on that
Yeah.
one.
We all have it.
With all that beer, I don't
Yeah,
wonder.
well,
So,
yeah, that's for sure. We certainly have fun. A lot of great folks we met. But so Sandy, for you, it was really kind of cool because, and we'll talk about some spirits, but I want to talk about some angels that come in really quick. Is of course we got Archangel Gabriel, but it's really kind of cool. Is Gabriel and Michael together? They're both sitting on an altar. And so if you guys think of, like a altar, like a table or but really about trying to reach the next higher pinnacle of connection. And that's what it's all about. That's why Gabriel and Michael are, trying to reflect with Sandy's connection. And really, there feels like there has been a really strong connection for quite some time. But for whatever reason that they just show me them, their energy sitting on an altar, talking about striving for the next higher connection. And so,
What does that
whether
mean?
it's taking spirit communication, whether it's taking protection, whatever that is, healing work to the next higher level,
Mhm.
it's where they're kind of sitting at. And then, of course, we talked about healing work. Raphael sitting right underneath him, making that trifecta, right? A great, strong pyramid of bringing in a lot of healing, a lot of guidance, and just a lot of great stuff, because I can't just talk about one. There's so many things going on. So if you're bringing that with clients, if you're, bringing that with whomever, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because it is really, truly changing lives. Secondly, when I start connected to spirit, which is really cool, I got to show you. And granted, I am not an artist, so forgive me. So if you see this, I was writing the little, music notes, over
Yes.
here, and I kept on getting sing, and I kept on hearing music coming from the mother side of the family. And it was really beautiful, like notes, and just a melody that was coming really, truly from somebody's heart, and just a beautiful, beautiful voice. I do understand that this female feels to me like she actually passed later in life. I want to say that she was late 80s, early 90s. She feels like quite a I can't even speak tonight. She was kind of cantankerous, so to speak, because you're really not going to tell her what she could or couldn't do. She was going to do it. However, she
This
was
is
just
on
a
my
very
mother's side.
yeah, and yeah. And so one of the things I would share is that she feels like that all through her life, from very early age. Like, they would say you're a difficult child, through adulthood, and where they'd say she's very driven, like, nobody's going to tell her. And so going on to do like really cool things. I would almost compare her now, her energy, her persona, to somebody like oh good lord, now I can't even think. Oh, guys, help me out. Who's the female pilot that went missing back
Amelia
in?
Amelia
Earhart.
Earhart.
There you go.
Earhart.
Yeah. So she
History buff.
has that, adventurous spirit, and like, you're not going to tell me what a woman can't do, and I'm going to do it regardless. So kind of showing up like, being ahead of her time, so to speak, right? So that, like, yeah, so that Amelia Earhart-esque, if you could put that energy with it. But one of the cool things that stands out with her is her singing. And it's just so beautiful, is that just carrying a tune. So whether she did that for weddings or just for her sheer enjoyment, or her children, that is something that I keep on hearing. And then last but not least, there is a male that's over on the dad's side of the family. He's a quiet gentleman, and just very melancholy, like doesn't raise a fuss, just very slow moving, but very methodical, very hardworking. And we were talking about the military just a little bit ago, and I do understand. This would have been many, many years ago, because I see him more with what I'm understanding is like more of a musket style, not maybe black powder, but I
Oh,
see with a longer rifle. And it's kind of interesting, and I see him with a floppy brim hat, and it's kind of interesting because it's more of where it's like working on the border or something. I don't know. There was something about the border and something interesting with that, but I don't really understand it. But
a
the thing that
musket, that would be before Australia's time, wouldn't it?
I don't know. I don't know, really, honestly. I don't
Yeah, I
know
don't know.
but here's the thing that I would share is that first and foremost is, talking about the female that's stepping forward, and even with the male, is just letting you know, obviously, how much they love and support you. But more importantly, I want to go back up, because the big message is really tonight coming from the angels, and really
Yeah.
talking about pushing forward, Sandy, with that higher connection in whatever you're doing, because that's really important. I don't know what work you do. I don't know what you're pushing or trying to connect on that higher level, but you need to keep striving for that, because it's really going to affect people on the next level in a big, big way. Does that make sense?
Okay. It kind of does. It gives me hope to know that there's 3 of those angels there helping me. So I'm not working at the moment. I'm suffering a lot of mental illness like depression
Okay.
and agoraphobia and stuff like that. So having the thought of them trying to help me with that
Yeah.
higher healing is something that sounds great. Yeah. So, and the woman you're talking about, I'm not sure who it is, but the description sounds more like me. I was always, oh, she's a problem child. And, like growing up in the 70s and the 80s, I was all about women are as good as men. And that was a little bit before our time in those days and things like that. So I can relate to that. So maybe that's where I got it from that person. So, yeah.
Sure, for sure. Well, thank you so
So
much, Sandy, for calling in
Thank
tonight.
you,
And
Sandy.
thank you, Dean. I appreciate your time and giving me a reading. And yeah, it's been fun. So
Stay
hey,
tuned
yeah,
in.
same here.
Yep. All right. Next up, I think it's this might be my daughter, Dean.
She's with my wife.
family-
They're freaking out over there.
Okay, hang on. Taylor, is that you?
Yeah, why'd you sound so disappointed?
No, I wasn't
He
disappointed.
was so happy. No, he
No.
was like, I want to make sure. He kept
No,
asking.
I wrote a note to is that our Taylor, which I was surprised you called. I thought
She's not my Taylor.
thought
She's
that's-
your Taylor.
well, she's our Taylor.
She can be my Taylor too.
All right.
Kennedy's here
Taylor,
too.
Oh, yay. Hi,
Hey.
Kennedy.
Hi.
Okay. Well, Taylor,
Go on.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just calling. I was just gonna see if he was getting anything from my granny, maybe.
Your granny?
And it's not
Yeah.
the same granny as the other daughter.
No. Well, you could feel that right away. Like I want to say it was interesting. Like when Taylor came in, it was interesting because I started feeling like a pain in my side. Taylor, you're not a pain in my side, but what I'm saying is the spirit that was stepping forward was like coming through, and I started feeling like a pain in my side, right? And it was kind of interesting because it started moving around, So I'm understanding that whatever affliction that they were dealing with started off on the side and then slowly radiated over into the stomach and everything else. So I'm understanding that if she was having issues with whether it was liver or what was going on, but I feel that it spread to other organs, we'll say.
Is this a spirit you're reading, Dean? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
What's
interrupt.
that?
Is that the reading you're getting from a spirit that came through, or are you?
Yeah, that's the reading. I'm not reading Taylor.
Oh, okay.
So
I was getting worried, but
no, this is not Taylor's energy. This is a spirit that stepping forward for her.
Yeah, she had a lot of organs just started shutting down, toxic shock.
It was like sepsis.
Yeah,
I think it started with her kidneys, and then like she became septic or something like that.
Sure. Well, and a lot of times it starts with the pain, right? And the body could be very, like you say, very septic or whatever. And, but it starts with awareness, starts with like a pain. And then it slowly moves, and then people go and get it checked out and be like, oh my God, there's a big issue going on.
Yeah.
So a lot of different stuff. But one of the things, Taylor, that I wanted to talk about, which was very specific, was that she keeps on showing me like little, what I would say, hankies with like little flowers with green stems and purple, flowerets on them or whatever. It was almost like hand embroidered hankies. And I don't know if it was something that all you girls got or if it was something that was within the family, but the thing that she keeps on showing me is that. And the other thing is that very much so I see all these like linens. And so, and when we talk about linens, like blankets and all that, and just, kind of being draped over your shoulders, and just an aspect of remembering her and what she used to do, and just kind of the comfort that some of her things always bring you, right?
Yeah.
And there's like a unique smell. It almost smells like, if I'm in her home, it's almost like vanilla. And I know this sounds weird. Vanilla and peaches. I know it's that. I don't know why peaches. I'm smelling peaches, but that's what I smell. But the strongest scent was vanilla with her. But just understand, Taylor, is that, number one, that she loves you still, but continue to trust what you're getting, right? So, trusting that aspect. One of the things I picked up on you right away was, all these angels that stepped in, the sheer amount, number one, but number two, I was kind of looking really quick, like, who's the highest frequency angel, and it was Archangel Gabriel. And Gabriel really talks about you talking. So not about physically talking, but more on the psychic realm. So whether, you've been aware of your gifts or not, that's something that's out there. So does that make sense for you?
Yeah. I always joke about that with my dad.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All
And
right.
keep looking for the signs, Taylor. So
Okay.
she's still around.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. I'll see you later tonight, sweetie.
Love you. Bye.
Okay.
Love
Love
you,
you.
bye.
Hey, make sure the house is clean before I get home.
Oh,
Kennedy,
Lord. Okay, we got up next Kylie. Kylie, good evening. You're on Life After Life.
Hello. I was
Hello.
just wondering if I could get just a general reading.
Sure.
General reading. Absolutely. All right, Kylie. Okay. Kylie, first and foremost, we talk about, tonight I've been talking all about angels and spirits. And your reading is no exception. Archangel, Michael comes in really nice and strong. A very interesting way of protecting you. And it's more about surrounding you. So if you've been feeling a bit, how do I want to say, blindsided, or been feeling like a lot of drama, maybe at work or at home, just understand that Michael's just saying, hey, I got your back. And the other thing is there's a second bubble tonight around Gabriel for you. And that's not a bad thing. It's just telling me to share with you that Gabriel is really saying that make sure that you're really being cognizant of your energy and other people's energy, because your empathic abilities really pick up like a super soaker sponge, right? Other people's stuff.
Oh my
And
gosh, my stepmom has always called me a sponge because I
right.
was little.
So
Mhm.
yeah, for sure, because you're taking on everybody's state of being, and it can be, it can be a great tool, but a lot of times it feels, for some people, they use the word curse because they usually tend to feel all the negative stuff. And it can be very, very challenging at times, right? So self-care is so very important. But I do want to talk about Kylie, I do want to talk about the female that's stepping forward on the mom's side of the family. And one of the things is, as she comes forward, and the first thing she does is gives you the biggest hug. And the thing that I can smell with her is, like, when she's giving you this hug, is almost like a baby powder scent perfume. It's kind of like powdery, but it also has floral essence to it. I know it's so weird. But then the other thing is I keep on seeing her apron that she keeps on, that she's always predominantly wearing. And so you think of just the ruffles around it with little flowers on it. The other thing that I keep on seeing is hand embroidered like dish towels. So if she was always doing, I don't know if it's what they call it, if it's cross stitch or what it is, but
Mhm.
so I don't know if that's something that she gave as a Christmas present, but it almost feels like through the winter months, or when weren't always sitting and doing as something as a kind of a hobby or something to occupy.
She was in a knitting circle, my grandma Carter.
Oh, well, there you go.
Mhm.
There you go.
She actually started a baby blanket before she
Oh,
passed away for me, and I didn't know I was pregnant, and her knitting circle gave it to me at my baby shower.
that's beautiful.
Mhm.
That's beautiful. Well, grandmas they are so intuitive, right? Whether they say anything or not. And with that is as well as I do, just the level of love that she had for you and that she continues to hold for you in the afterlife. And, continually, as you validated just now, talking about, letting you know that she was able to greet your baby before it was born. Do you understand that?
Oh, for sure.
So understand that is very important to let you know that she was able to hold your baby before it was born. Because it was, I wish grandma was here to, to see the baby. And no, she is, she's already met the baby. So
My firstborn was 3 weeks late, and they kept saying, "Grandma's just getting all her loving."
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yep, for sure. That's a great way to look at it. I love that.
That is.
So,
sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kylie,
So-
thank you for calling in.
Thank you, Kylie.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
You bet.
Okay, so Dean, Scott did call in. He's the gentleman you talked to about the
Oh,
being
Scott.
abducted.
Okay.
All right, Scott, I'm bringing you on here, buddy.
What's up,
Hey,
Scott?
Scott.
Hey,
Hey,
Scott.
Dean. Hey, Keith. Hey, Garrett.
Hey, man.
What's up, buddy?
Oh,
So you said that when we talked, you said you had a lot of psychics tell you that you were abducted, but you have no memory of it.
I don't have any memory of actually being abducted. I have some other memories and things that my ex-wife, I woke up, she was shaking me violently, waking me up, and I was like, "What's going on?" She said, "Well, there was this thing at the end of the bed, and it was pointing a device at you, and you're spinning and shaking and making all kinds of weird noises." And
Oh my God.
That's weird.
Uh-oh, we lost.
Oh. Oh,
Whoa.
what happened? There you are. Sorry.
Whoa, now he's on the bottom.
Yeah.
I think
All
your
right.
alien's
What the hell
interfering.
just happened?
I don't know.
they don't want to
Okay.
hear
It
it.
could have been me on
They
accident.
don't-
I was typing.
Wow.
They don't want you to they don't want you to bring the truth out there, Scott.
So Scott, you were violently shaking in bed. You said the shape she saw? Was this did it look like an alien? Did it look like a ghost? What did it look like?
Alien to her.
Mm.
Okay. Weird.
And you had no idea what was going on?
No, not a bit.
So have you ever seen UFOs in the past or anything, or any indication?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I was wondering if you had any indication that you know.
Well, I
possibly
was kind of curious, Scott. Did you ever since your abduction, have you ever found any implants or anything foreign in your body?
I got this pain right behind the back of my neck that behind my ear that doctors just look at me when I tell them about it.
And
But
have they scanned it
No.
or? Huh.
No,
Interesting.
it didn't come up in an MRI.
Okay. Interesting.
They did an MRI and nothing showed up.
Nothing showed up.
Okay. So maybe just a muscle pain, perhaps.
Who knows? Who knows?
Or maybe it's a device that our MRIs aren't smart enough to pick up on yet.
Well, yeah, it doesn't know. MRIs don't pick up on everything though.
Right.
But I would also ask Scott that I was asking Keith and Garrett earlier, have you ever done any regression or hypnosis or anything?
I have
like,
not. I'd love to get linked up with somebody who can do that.
Okay, that would be pretty interesting, wouldn't it?
I'm sure there'd be
So-
someone around here.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think I might
we-
know somebody.
Yeah, let's collab on that for sure.
I think I might know somebody.
That'd
so,
probably be super beneficial, honestly.
yeah, yeah,
Hey, Dean. Well, I found it really interesting in that first reading.
yeah.
Like, do some of the angels come through when you're also reading like the alien part, or are they
Yeah,
one?
so when I was, for Scott, from what I remember, in the aspect of when I, connect to what I call, reading the angel energy or whatever and listening to the angels, it was kind of like where they were just kind of stepping back, and the aliens were coming in and kind of having their say, or the connection. And I was like, oh, okay, here, so it's kind of like you think of different channels that, if you were to focus, okay, angel channel, galactic channel, spirit channel. And so when I'm connecting to different things, just kind of switching frequencies, so to speak, to connect to whatever stepping forward. So
That's so heavy, man.
That is weird.
yeah.
That's so heavy.
So Dean, I could give Scott your email if you know someone that you could.
Yeah.
connect
So
him to.
yeah, let's talk back and forth through email or whatever. And then I'll reach out and see if I can get some connections and see if we can't get you hooked up to somebody.
That'd be awesome.
Cool. And then Scott can come back on and Dean can come back on and we can all discuss this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. See if it if it helped or not.
Oh yeah, I'll film it, whatever.
Awesome. Yes.
that'd be
That's
even better.
amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
And comment on the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Very cool. All right, Scott, you got anything else, buddy?
No, that was all. Just
Checking in.
checking
We were
in.
wondering we were talking about you before the show. So I'm glad you called in.
Yeah, actually,
There you
Dean was
go.
asking
Hey.
if you had any.
Add me onto that. Add me onto that email. We'll
Well,
start like a little email group.
Maybe Scott was picking up on the psychic vibes. I was
Yeah,
putting out there.
totally.
Could be.
Hey, we'll start a little email group. We'll get it
Sure.
sorted. That'll be an interesting experiment.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott.
Absolutely.
Thank you for opening up to us.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah,
All right,
man.
Scott, we'll talk to you later.
Hey, bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Dude, there were so many people in the green room.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Dean, thank
Yeah.
you thank you for your time, really.
Really, we
Yeah,
really
you
appreciate
bet.
it.
I wanted to make sure that everybody knew, and because I'm about to do a little plug here for Dean, and I want to make sure I cut it up and put it on the social media. But you guys can go to his website. He's got a website.
Yep.
Like, go to his website, go to his shows. He does online stuff.
Yeah, I know. He does online and also on Facebook every once in a while. He'll do Facebook readings, pop on live. I popped in a couple of those. Very interesting.
Well, I told you I read the Monday reading.
Oh,
every
the Monday messages.
Yeah, the
from
Monday
Spirit.
message.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
So make sure. Is there anything you want to plug while you're on here?
Just social media. If you want to check me out, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, The Military Medium. Just Google The Military Medium, or it's themilitarymedium.com. Don't have anything plugged right now. I am looking at maybe some events, or, kind of maybe traveling a little bit. I'll be traveling to northern Minnesota coming up this week. I'm actually back to my hometown to help bring some supplies to some soldiers that are stationed. Well, actually, they're up in that area helping with the historic floods. So kind of donating some stuff that to help them out. So, and then kind of
Very
see
cool.
some family, and so but you never know where I'm going to be or what I'm doing. So the best thing is just to check me out on social media and just kind of see what I'm doing, and go from there.
Hey, and
Good.
I want to be fully transparent really fast, because you and I talked for like an hour after last week. Me and Keith just sat in the room. We talked, right? And we were going back and forth, and my wife finally put the kibosh on it. But I was arguing. I was like, because I think the work that you do is so important, right? And I think that like people opening up to it and hearing what you have to say is massively important. And so I was actually telling Keith, I was like, hey, next week, let's not do any readings. And I was like, let's just like really dissect and talk to Dean McMurray. And then you're kind of like, well, he has such a special ability, right?
Yeah.
There has to be readings. And so I ran it by Cass, and she's like, I swear, if you don't do readings, I will kill you, basically.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Dean, actually, you're the first psychic. She's probably talked to 2 or 3 different psychics, and her granny never came through, and that's something she always wanted. So she got that with you, and that's awesome and wonderful.
Well, there was a ton of validations you don't even know about, but I was sitting back thinking, oh my God.
That was my ex-mother-in-law. So everything you said, it was completely 100% correct.
But we've been having this conversation. Me and my wife talk a lot. Like, it's one of the great things I think about our family is we chat a lot. And so, but yeah, we were going back and forth because I really do. I just wanted to say that, full transparency to everybody. I really think that the messages that you have, right, and what you have to say and your ability is extremely important. So I'm glad you're taking it on the road. Let us know, obviously, if there's anything we can do on our end.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And we're gonna get on this little group email too with Scott. Figure what the hell's going on.
I know. I got.
Yeah,
I have to know.
That would be. I think that's something that we should hash out before we do anything else, and
for sure
see if we can get Scott some help, and it'd be interesting to discuss it, right? If he's open to that, I think it'd be great for other people that are abductees, and you know, and all that. So I think that'd be interesting.
Absolutely,
I do too. Well, Dean, thank you so much
Keith
again.
has to go to work.
Well, I've got to do some work-related stuff that popped up about an hour and a half ago. So,
Dean, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, guys.
I
always enjoy my time on your program, and you guys are just great. So thank you so much.
Thank you for that great. Yeah, Garrett sent me the comment. I barely read social media, but thank you so much for that compliment. And coming from you, that meant a whole lot.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, man. And we still need to sometime. We all 3 need to do a ghost hunt together.
Absolutely.
Oh, that would be a blast.
Yeah, because I would do it with him because I would feel safe.
Yeah. He'd be like bringing Michael.
Yeah, well, he could put a protective circle around me or something.
Can we have 15 protective circles, please?
Well, maybe when we get something going on the road, we come down you guys' neck of the woods, and maybe we line up do an investigation somewhere.
100%.
That'd be awesome, man.
100%.
I'll do it. All right, man. Dean, thank you so much, and good night to you.
All right, good night, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's just so refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah, I could have Dean on every week.
He's
good. He's so interesting to listen to.
It's not even the ability. That's what I was telling Cass. I was like, it's the messages that come along with that we can use in our life, right? I'm like,
yeah, and it helps. Awesome. Like, it helps people.
It really does.
Just Cass getting verification that Granny came through, loves her.
Yep.
You know, that's good for her.
Yeah. She texted me and was like, hey, that was incredible.
Yeah, because he nailed the breathing. You know, that's how she passed away.
And just her presence.
Right.
Like who she was. So validation, awesome work.
Very cool. Very cool indeed. All right, guys. Like I was saying earlier, for you guys to show up late, we have to cut it short today because I got to do some work related stuff. But next week we have Dean McMurray. No, I'm just kidding. Dean's like, what?
Yeah. Huh?
No. I think I'll try to get hold of this. This will probably take a few months, but see if we can get a hold of Scott. And get him in contact with someone that maybe can help him with a life regression. And if he films it, then we can actually show it live, and then we can comment on it. Or if he doesn't, we can just talk about the results of what he got.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
But, I'd like to do, if we can find an NDE person, had a very interesting NDE. So if anybody out there is listening and you had a crazy NDE, message me on Facebook.
Please.
From Live After Life. We'd love to have you on. That's something Garrett and I are very interested in. So anyway,
awesome,
you guys, love you guys.
Love you.
Got to get out of here. Thank you so much for giving up your Wednesday evening for us knuckleheads, and we appreciate it. Love you guys. Have a great night. Bye-bye.